Hello everyone, welcome to Kritikka Mathurr Astrology. My name is Kritikka and I'm an astrologer, numerologist, vastu consultant and a life coach. So in today's video we're going to talk about the Mercury transit in the sign of Scorpio. The special thing is that Mercury, when it's going to the sign of Scorpio, Sun and Ketu are already present over there. It could have been a very easy transit, just Mercury in Scorpio, but now with Sun and Ketu being there, it complicates the things a little bit. So let's find out how this is going to affect you. So do subscribe my channel and tap the bell in order to get regular notifications as always. And also there is going to be timestamps that I'm going to provide in the comment section. So what you're going to do is, whichever ascendant you are, you can directly go to that particular part of the video and you can watch your particular prediction over there. So let's start today's video. Of course, I'm going to cover all the ascendants from Aries till Pisces, and let's begin with today's video. So for Mercury being in sign of Scorpio, doesn't enjoy it so much because Mercury gets debilitated in the sign of Pisces, and Pisces being its watery signs get debilitated. Why is that? Because Mercury is a planet of analytics, Mercury is a planet of communication, Mercury is a planet of logical thinking. So when these kind of planets go into the sign of water, now their analytical ability, their logical thinking, the way they're going to function gets a little bit here and there. Their functionality gets deteriorated. So that's the reason why Mercury doesn't perform very well in the sign of water. Now Scorpio being the water sign, it makes Mercury a little bit uncomfortable. So Mercury over here is going to lose its power to a little bit of the extent. Obviously Sun and Ketu being there already makes it a little bit difficult. Now they're going to be already present in the home, so Sun and Ketu are going to be like, okay, let's welcome Mercury over here. So Mercury is going to join their gang now. What's going to happen right now is that you're going to feel some issues in the industries of education, in the industries of finance and economy, because that's what Mercury represents. So these kind of industries on a global level are going to get a little bit of hit in this month. Let's begin with the Aries ascendant video for today's transit video. So for the Aries ascendants, what's going to happen is that this conjunction is happening in your 8th house in the sign of Scorpio, of course. So for you, there are going to be some issues in case you're planning for traveling. So you can expect some delays, you can expect some documentation issues when you're traveling. Another thing is that in case you're in a relationship, you will face some kind of miscommunication with your boyfriend or with your girlfriend. Also, what you will notice here is that if you're into any kind of research work, into any kind of occult sciences like astrology, tarot, numerology, then it's a good transit for you. So you are going to learn a lot here. For those of you who are students, it will be very hard for you to concentrate and to focus on your studies. So beware on that. There is another thing here. Those of you who are into accountancy or who are working with a CA firm or any kind of government firms, any kind of theft or forgery that you have done with the papers, that is going to come in front, in the limelight of your authorities. So that can cause you a problem. Beware on that. Coming to Taurus. Taurus ascendant people, this transit is going to happen in your 7th house. Now here what's going to do is that if you're married, you're going to have problem with your spouse. So you're going to have problem with your husband or with your wife, doesn't matter, but you will still face some kind of issues in terms of the relationship. It's going to be topsy-turvy over there. Another thing is that if you have a business and if you have partners over there, you will have problem in miscommunication with your business partners. This is something that you have to take care about. Also, you may have some issues with your skin and your stomach, so do take care on that as well. Coming to Gemini ascendants. Gemini ascendant people, this is how your horoscope is going to look for at least a month, and this is where the transit is happening in your 6th house. So if you do have some planets in the 6th house already, these conjunctions going to go over those planets, and that is going to bring its own flavor. That's why personal horoscope is very, very important, and the transits are just cherry on the cake. So the major thing, whatever is going to promise in your horoscope, definitely going to happen. That being said, the transits are going to amplify what has to happen. It's going to make sure that that happens. So in your case, you will have some kind of health related problems, especially you can injure your hands, so take care on that. Also, those of you who are students, they can face some problems in terms of concentration and focus. Be very careful in terms of maintaining a relationship with your maternal side of the family. Do not lend money to your relatives, and especially to maternal side of the family, because any kind of investments, any kind of money that you're going to be giving away, it's not going to come back. So just take care on that. In case you do have a promise in your personal horoscope about your health, you have to take care of that as well this month. Coming to Cancer ascendant people. For Cancerians, it's not looking that good. Your transit's going to happen in your 5th house, and this is how your horoscope is going to look. So if you already have some planets in the 5th house, these planets are going to go over those planets and going to give that kind of result. If you don't have any kind of planets in the 5th house, this transit is as it is for you. It's not bringing any change. If you do have some planets, then things are going to change a little bit depending on which planet is present over there. In your case, you're going to feel stressful. You will have this unnecessary tension because of your nervous system anxiety. So this is something that you're going to feel. Also, for those of you who are into any kind of relationship, you will have some problems with your boyfriend or girlfriend with regards to cut off the communication. So the communication is going to stop. Maybe you're not going to talk for a while. This kind of thing can happen. Also, if you're in any kind of multinational companies or dealing with foreign clients, then you can have problems with those clients and in the relationship with those clients also. So refrain from making any investments, stock market investments during this time. Also, just do take care of your agitation and your nervous system because of the anxiety that you're going to face in this time. Coming to Leos. For the Leo ascendant people, this transit is going to happen in your 4th house. For you, you have to take care of the things in the home itself. So the construction of home, this can be something breakage or leakage or some things that need to be fixed at home. There are going to be huge expenses coming up, so be prepared on that. Do not invest in anything new right now. It's not suited for you. There will be some kind of financial obligations that you have to cater to. In case you're working, you're into corporate world, then you have to maintain relationship with your bosses, because there will be a problem with the authority at the workplace. And in the home front, there can be some issues due to miscommunication within your home. So that is also something to be taken care of. In case you have in personal horoscope any promise of health issues, then that can happen in this time as well. Coming to Virgo ascendant people. For the Virgos, what we can see is that this transit is going to happen in your 3rd house. So it's not very bad of a transit, but what you're going to feel is that because of your communication, you will face some kind of problem. So you have to be very, very careful on what you're going to speak, on who you're going to speak. Also, at the time of the place of work, you have to be careful on what email you're typing, what you're communicating to the other person, because you can be thrashed by your authorities due to your email at the workplace because of what you speak. So just take care on that. Also, there is one thing that you have to take care. If you're traveling somewhere, there can be some delays, there can be some mishaps, some basic hitches when you travel. So just plan your travel very well before you actually do so. Coming to Libra ascendant people. For the Librans, this transit is going to happen in the 2nd house. Now, if you already have some planets in your 2nd house, then these planets are going to over your 2nd house wherever the planets are placed. If you do not have any planets in the 2nd house, then these transits are going to do their bit. Depending on your personal horoscope, the results will vary. And if there are planets on top of which these planets are going, because their planets are going in a 2nd house, in your personal horoscope there may or may not be any planets over there. Accordingly, the results are going to vary. For you, although you will face some kind of problems in your family front, there can be some miscommunication within the family that may cause some issues and problems. Also, you will have to face a lot of unnecessary expenses. This will be on the home front, and also there will be travel expenses that you'll have to face during this time. For those of you who are students, it's a very good time to go for higher learning. Coming to Scorpio ascendant people. For Scorpio ascendant people, this transit is happening right at the ascendant on the first house. So this is how your horoscope is going to look. In case you have some planets already placed in the first house, then this transit is going to do their bit and it's going to alter the things. But if you do not have any planets over there, then only these planets are going to perform what they are here to do for you. So first thing is that some of the projects that you have taken from before, you will face problems to complete those projects. Another thing that you will see is that investments can go haywire, so you should not make any stock investments, any new investments. Do not do funding anywhere. Do not go for any investments during this time. Those of you who are into astrology, numerology, these kind of occult science, or even tarot, it's a good time for you because it's a good time for research. So those of you also who are doing any kind of PhD work, or any people who are doing any research work, it's a good time for them. Coming to Sagittarius. For the Sagittarius people, this transit is going to happen in your 12th house. So you may have to get some kind of sleep related issues, some sleep deprivation. I see that coming. If you're traveling anywhere, be careful of the documents that you're carrying. You can face some problem due to those documents, and also due to some flight delays. Also, if you're married, you can face some kind of issues with your spouse or with your husband or wife. In case you're not married, you may travel abroad and then you can find a spouse over there right now during this time, in case you're traveling abroad. Also, if you're working, you're doing any corporate job, if you're related to MNC work or foreign related clients, then you have to be careful with the relationship with the clients and also the work that you're doing. So you have to take care of that a little bit. Those of you who are students, it's a good time for you to migrate abroad for studies. So definitely during this time I see that happening, depending on your personal horoscope as well. And if you do have some planets which are already there in the 12th house, then these planets are going to go over those planets, and that is going to change things, because this transit is only the cherry on top of the cake. Actual cake is your personal horoscope. Coming to Capricorn ascendants. For the Capricorn ascendant people, this transit is going to happen in your 11th house, and it's a pretty good transit for you. The projects that you've taken from before, you'll be able to finish those projects, and maybe you'll be rewarded in terms of the words during this time, or depending on the personal yogs that you have. Also in this time, it's a good time to make a good relationship with your father, so you may get in touch with him a while. If you are a student, then also it is a good time for you to go for higher studies. You'll be able to concentrate in your exams and in your studies also this time. So for Capricorn, it's a good transit. Coming to Aquarius ascendant people. For Aquarius ascendant people, this transit is going to happen in your 10th house. Now, if you do have some planets already in the 10th house, and these planets are going to go over those planets, and it's going to alter the flavor of the prediction. But in case you do not have any planets in the 10th house in your original birth horoscope, then these planets are going to do their bit as a conjunction. So definitely I see some kind of change at your work. So it's going to be a new job, or maybe you're going to come out of the job and start doing your own business, or maybe how the way you commute, the way you travel, your boss and authority might change. So there is definitely some kind of change at workplace. You will have also problem with your authority, with the bosses. Also, you can expect some miscommunication happening in the workplace itself. Those of you who are in any kind of relationship, there can be some arguments with your boyfriend and girlfriend, so take care on that. For students, not that good a time to focus on your studies, because you might feel that your mind is wandering somewhere, so you will not be able to focus so much. Coming to the next ascendant, which is Pisces. For the Pisces ascendant people, this transit is going to happen in your 9th house. Not that bad of a transit. What I see is that for the people who are in corporate job, the career, it's good time for you to go ahead in your career. It's a time for growth in the career. Also, it for higher studies, for those of you who are students, a good time to migrate abroad or to migrate to another city for higher studies. So for students also, I do see a good time. Only problem is the travel restrictions. So if you are planning to travel during this time, you may face some restrictions, issues in the travel, delays in the travel. So these kind of problems can come to you. So just my suggestion is plan your travel very well. Make sure you have the documents. Make sure you know about the travel formalities in order to avoid these kind of mishaps. So from my side, that's it. So I've covered all the ascendant for this particular transit which is gonna happen. All the best to you guys. Do comment and like, share, subscribe my video. If you have anything to say, you can mention in the comment down section, and also subscribe to my channel, tap the bell in order to get regular notifications and in order not to miss any videos from my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Do take care of yourself.